Welcome. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Epic Game Reviews. Today, I will be reviewing the game Mobile Astro, who knows? Maybe you do. Comment below. And before we get into this review, if you do happen to enjoy any one second of this video, you should at least consider subscribing for more content like this on my channel, of course. So, what am I reviewing today? What is this game? And what will I be grading it on? This game that I'm reviewing today is called Mobile Astro. I already said that. But it is a space shooter that is similar to games like Galaga, Galaxia, whatever. And it is very reminiscent of those games. You can obviously see inspiration. It is a retro game. It's like an 8-bit, 16-bit, whatever game, and the aspect ratio is a bit small, so if it looks like there's black bars around the screen, sorry about that. Now, what will I be grading this game on? This is going to be a bit different from my other reviews. I will be grading the game on graphics/sound design for 2 points. I'll be grading the game on general gameplay for 2 points. I'll be grading it on movement for 2 points, and I will be grading each game mode, including DLC, so the main game mode and 3 DLC modes, arcade mode, arcade EX mode, survival mode, and boss rush mode, each for 1 point. Wait, 1 point each for each game mode. I did not explain things well. But anyways, let's hop into this review. Oh, and one last thing, I will be considering the full game, the game as well as the DLC. So this video is not a review on the base game, because if it was, it'd be like 9 minutes long. It's a review on the base game as well as all DLC modes. Anyways, let's get into it. The graphics and the sound design / music of this game. This game has incredible music, although I do have a major problem with the music. Basically, the music in each mode is exactly the same. At least in, let's see, arcade EX, and survival. Boss rush kind of mixes it up with each boss's music, but other than that, it's basically the same track looped over and over again. However, it does have a lot of great sound design. Raxasoft's other game, which is the company who made this, Project Mercury, which I've reviewed recently, got sound kind of wrong. The music in the background wasn't that good, and the enemy shot sound was all the same. But this game gets it right. All the sounds sound satisfying, and the death little jingle when you die actually sounds better than most of the sound effects in the game. But you may think, oh, so that's the best sound effect? Basically, almost everything, every sound is like an 8 out of 10 plus. It just sounds good. It reminds me of being in an arcade, kind of, with all the beeps and little jingles when you start and die, and the music. It's just has very good and retro sound design, which I think it's aiming for. Now the graphics. The graphics are obviously 8-bit / 16-bit, whatever, retro-esque, small aspect ratio graphics. I think they look pretty good for what the game is trying to convey, like an old retro space alien shoot 'em up game. But at the same time, some of the graphics are kinda I mean, all the enemies look like bootleg turrets from Portal, and if you don't know what they look like, search up Portal 2 turret, or Portal 1 turret, I guess. They look exactly like that. I'm not even kidding. I didn't even have that joke in a script. I just thought of it now because they really look like that. And it just feels retro. It has a good aesthetic and a good retro feel to it. So overall, I really wanted to give this section a 10 out of 10. But the fact that there's not much music variety in most of the modes kind of takes it down a bit to at least a 9 out of 10. Plus the fact that some people may not like retro graphics could almost bring it down to an 8 out of 10, but that's more subjective and who you are. So overall, music and sound design gets a 9 out of 10, a big improvement over Project Mercury, even though this game came out before that, so yeah. To talk about is movement. the next thing I want to talk about is movement. Movement in this game, I don't know. It feels like a top-down shooter. That's it. It's not unique at all. You just arrow keys to move, a W, A, S, and D in my case. That's about it. Really, there's no special dash ability, which would be really cool, by the way. No roll ability, no jump, because it's top-down, so I mean. And there should be more modes of transportation, in my opinion. I feel like while playing the space levels, you should be like in a spaceship, which goes really fast, but has trouble turning. But then when you're on the ground and on different planets, you should play as an on-the-foot, like, soldier marine guy who is slower but can handle and turn a lot faster. Now, taking my personal opinion out of this, the movement is still really bland. There's nothing interesting about it. It's just another movement system. Now, I can't expect every little detail of every game to innovate in a field in some way. It's just that the movement, it also doesn't feel that good just to move around. Like, sure, you can dodge at enemies, but sometimes the movement just feels clunky and feels like you're just moving from one tile to another. That's a problem that one of me and my friends' games had, and we fixed it by reducing the movement speed. And I feel like that the movement speed could be reduced for the on-the-ground soldier, which I know they'll never implement anything that I'm saying, but, you know, just a thought. Anyways, the movement system, if I had the way, in my personal opinion, it would probably be something like a 5 out of 10. But since I'm trying to be as objective as possible, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. It's bland, but it's good. It's a bit clunky, but it's basic. So overall, just an okay movement system. That's 1 point for the movement system. Oh, by the way, 2 points for... 2 points for sound design, by the way. I forgot to say that. For probably a most important grade, gameplay. The gameplay in this game is actually pretty innovative, which is why I was a bit annoyed that the movement system was super generic. For example, you can actually aim in like 8 directions? What did I just say? Directions, by either moving the arrow keys or whatever you use to shoot, and then clicking another one. For example, you could click the down arrow key as well as the right arrow key, and you'd shoot down and right. I actually think this is innovative, and based on how this game has bosses, unlike like other top-down space shooters, I think that this really helps the game, and also is a bit innovative given the fact that not many Steam games, at least, like that have top-down shooters, actually have this system. Also, another pretty cool thing about the gameplay is there are a lot of weapons, but I do have a problem with that. There's only a very slim chance that you'll get a new weapon, and in modes like the boss rush mode or survival mode, you'll likely be stuck with a basic blaster throughout the whole thing. Now, you do have 2 bombs, which basically come in handy, especially in some other game modes, like boss rush and survival. Basically, these bombs will damage every enemy on screen for like I don't know how many points actually, but it kills most basic enemies and damages more advanced enemies and bosses. So these 2 bombs can save your life. They get replenished every stage. Every stage is like a pretty long level, I guess. So they are useful, and you don't have a big abundance of them, but they really do bring down the difficulty of this game, which I think is nice. You could like challenge yourself by not using any bombs, or you could just use the bombs and win easily. And I wanted to quickly touch on story. The problem with this, and also with Project Mercury, is it sets up a bit of a story, but it never expands on it. This game could have done good without a story, and that's why I don't have a story review part. Because it's so minor, and it's like, it's weird. It's just like, oh no, a galactic enemy has spooky Portal 2 turrets that are attacking the galaxy. Kill them. Good luck. That's it. No further expansion if you beat the whole thing. It's just, yeah. I'm not complaining about that, and that's not going to get any points taken off of anything because I didn't have a story category. I just wanted to say that. And a few more weak points. The backgrounds are lazy and reused, which could be put into either gameplay or graphic design. And there is little content without the DLC. One mode. You have one mode. A linear campaign. That's it. Want more? Buy the DLC. I think this game would have done good without the DLC clumped together. There's one game mode I really don't like, and two I really do like. So I just wanted to suggest something. Maybe you could package Boss Rush and Survival together as a survival bundle for 99 cents and put Arcade EX as its own like standalone mode for 99 cents, or put it alone as well with like a new weapon or ability added to arcade mode, which I think would be pretty interesting and could really spice up the content, as well as if you don't want Boss Rush and survival mode, you could just buy one package. So, I mean, that's just a suggestion. But the gameplay is good. There isn't much early game enemy variety, which is what I would say if I was still on level 1. Past level 1, there are so many enemies, and it just keeps coming at you. I actually like this. I think some people may dislike this, though. There's like, in the first level, there's like 2 enemies, and 1 gets introduced at the end. In the second level, there's like a new on-the-ground enemy, a new tank enemy right after that, and then a boss and like these mini little pellet things that attack you with the boss. It's a lot of stuff thrown at you. I personally like that. I feel as if some people might not like that, so it can go either way. And the gameplay can be challenging if you don't use the bombs, or if you're playing some other mode, which I'll touch on in a bit. But overall, the gameplay is fun, kind of rewarding because you get score, which is something Project Mercury didn't do right at all. So, depending on what you think, the gameplay can be in a range of 6 out of 10 to 10 out of 10. I'll put it somewhere in the middle with an 8 out of 10. So it just skips by with 2 points for gameplay. That's 5 points overall. Let's see how the DLC modes do. Welcome to the segment where I review all the game modes for 1 point each. Let's start off on a high note. Arcade EX. Now, I didn't really need to talk about the normal arcade mode, but I might. Because the normal arcade mode is all I talked about, all the things I talked about previously, like in gameplay. That basically applies to mostly arcade mode. So, let's get on the Arcade EX mode. Arcade EX mode is a much harder version of arcade mode. Level 2 alone is very intense. Unfortunately, Arcade EX is only available with the EX version of the game, which you must get via DLC. And it's fun for a pretty long time. It's like arcade mode, and it has a lot of unique sets and backdrops and stuff. So overall, Arcade EX gets a nice... Honestly, it gets a 10 out of 10. It's really fun for the challenge, and if you're getting bored of arcade mode, just play it. I'd probably play this as a standalone game. Now let's get on to the not-so-good modes. Yep, those modes. A game mode that I really don't like is Boss Rush mode. Personally, I don't like it, and I don't think a lot of people are going to like it. It's basically you rush through all the 8 bosses of the normal arcade mode in a row. Now that doesn't sound too bad, you know, kinda hard, except you start and basically carry through the whole time with 1 life and 1 blaster. Now, given when you do defeat a boss, you'll get healed to full health and your bombs will be replenished. But it's not fun. It gets stale really quick, given the fact that it's always the same boss fights in the same order, and you could just fight them in arcade mode, where they're actually easier because you have weapons and not 1 life. It's DLC only, which is kind of annoying, given the fact you could just, I don't know, play arcade mode and defeat all the bosses. It gets stale fast, and all the bosses I've reused from arcade mode. It's maybe fun the first and second time, but I looked at our leaderboards. 4 people I beat in this mode. Only 4. That just shows the difficulty of it. If you like a challenge and want to be one of the first to beat Boss Rush, this is a mode for you. If you're like me and enjoy a good challenge, but don't like when you're stuck with the weakest weapon in the game, fighting some of the biggest bads with 2 bombs, a little blaster, and 1 life. It doesn't bring any new content to the table. Honestly, it's like a 3 out of 10 if you don't like challenge, and more like a 6 out of 10 if you do like challenge. So that's 0 points. Oh, and by the way, Arena EX gained 1 point, so that's pretty nice, I guess. Now let's get on to survival mode, which I have mixed feelings about. Survival mode is fun at its best and stupid at its worst. It's basically an infinite runner version of arena mode, arcade mode, except for the fact that it's just you have 1 life. Okay, that's fine. You have 2 bombs. Okay, that's fine. But it's just decent. It's fun playing it a few times, but then you realize that the enemies aren't in the same pattern, but the enemies do get introduced in the same order. So it's always linear in the same way, just a few different changes here and there. I would probably buy survival mode as its own game, in its own pack, with maybe Boss Rush for 99 cents. Because I think it stands alone as a good game, but mixed in with the DLC, it isn't good because of the fact that it reuses so many assets from Arcade EX, and just, I don't know. It's basically just the same enemies you fought in every other mode, but now you're shooting them for longer, and you only have 1 life. It's a fun hardish mode, but the challenge kind of goes away once you get like a ton of weapons, which, I mean, it's more fun then, but it just feels like you're mowing down these enemies just trying to get to a high score, which a lot of people will like. Me personally, I enjoy getting to a high score, but I don't like sinking my time into something that's repetitive, like really repetitive. But at the same time, I do like Black Ops Zombies, so maybe I'm being a bit hypocritical here. Anyway, survival mode is a okay mode. It really depends on your preference, just like a lot of things in this review. I'd rate it a 7 out of 10, meaning that it gets 1 point. Other people may say it's a 0 to a 6 out of 10. They don't really like challenging things and hate the linearness. And other people may rate a 7 to 10 out of 10 because they like a challenge and don't mind its linearness, which, I mean, I'm in the middle, so I'm going to rate it a 7. But once again, it's up to your personal opinion. And last but not really least, the free mode. Arcade mode. I didn't really want to talk about this because it's basically just the game. But I guess I'll have to give it a grade since, you know, I have to have the final score is a 10 out of 10. So, by the way, this gameplay is from Arena at EX mode, just because I thought it looked cooler than Arena gameplay, because you've seen that throughout most of the video, besides those past talking seconds. Anyways, Arena is the basic mode. It's pretty good. You can fight all the nice, fun bosses. There's a few enemies that you'll see return in DLC modes. Well, I don't know what else to say. It's a bit challenging, and the bosses are good. It's very satisfying to mow down groups of those little dove, I call them, enemies that just kind of float down from the top of the screen. And those enemies are like in every mode, but the most prevalent in Arcade and Arcade EX mode, and it's just so satisfying to mow them down. And also Arcade mode features the most variety, probably, of weapons, but Arcade EX kind of offers the most variety of enemies. I don't really know what the rank Arcade mode. It's basic. You don't need a DLC, and honestly, it's not like... I'm glad the game isn't paid, because if it was, I would say don't buy it, because Arcade mode is good, but it's not really too good without the other modes. I say that if it was just arcade mode and this game was paid, I would not like this game. But because of the DLC that is paid, it really saves this game. And arcade mode, while being good, it's not that fun to replay. It's fun to get to next stages. It's fun to reach a high score. But seriously, you can't do that much. You could probably spend like 12 hours on this, beating it, getting a very high score, killing every enemy, maybe in 16 hours, 20, 24, 36. That's a lot of gameplay you'll be getting out of a free game. By the way, this game is free without DLC. But if you're not a completionist, you may just finish the game in like 12 hours, maybe 8. You won't even finish the game and play it for 2 hours, maybe 4 if you're really determined. So, arcade mode's okay, but it doesn't stand well alone. The DLC are the crutches of this game. Anyways, 1 out of 1. Wait, what? 7 out of 10. 1 out of 1 points. So overall, the game is a nice little 8 out of 10. I'd recommend picking it up, but only if you're getting the DLC. By the way, because of the you-know-what that's going around right now, the game's DLC is actually free for a limited time. It's normally $1.99, and honestly, I think it's worth the money. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe, like, comment, subscribe, like, comment, subscribe, buy my new merch, which I don't actually have, and see you in the next video, hopefully soon, coming out within the next few days. Oh god, it's starting to rain. I better export this project fast before my power goes out and I lose all my progress. See you guys later, gamer.